Ken is present. Dan Bardoff.
Present.
Rich Depre.
Present.
Terry Ellefson.
Present.
Teresa Keen.
Present.
Cheryl McGuire. Dylan McGuire.
Here.
Phil Vosberg.
Here.
Tim Wolf.
Here.
All right. We have a quorum and we are in session. I'd entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
All right. Motion by Dan,
Second.
second by Tim, by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're on to administering the oath of newly elected BOE members. Before we jump to that, say thanks again, Dan.
No problem.
Appreciate everything.
Enjoy your Monday nights.
Oh,
yes. Come back and see us with public comment.
Thanks, Dan. Okay. So we need Dylan and Eric and myself will come right up here for the oath.
I stand here or up there? Up there.
All right. And we'll take your official oath. And repeating after me.
Okay.
I state your name,
I, Rich Depre,
having been elected or appointed
having been elected or appointed
to the office of School District of Monroe Board of Education,
to the office of School District of Monroe Board of Education,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of said office to the best of my ability.
of said office to the best of my ability.
All right, I'll have you guys sign. Dylan, this one's yours. Eric, this one's yours, and Rich. Can I borrow a pen here?
Going to steal Dylan's
Yeah.
when he's done. This one.
You'll sign right there, and then if you want to give him my pen, Dylan, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to the board.
Welcome, Eric. Welcome back, Dylan and Rich.
Okay. I think that. All right.
Howdy.
Okay, so the next item we'll address is discussion on officer election procedures. So we'll follow the procedure that we had the last couple of years. Nominations are by voice vote, voting is by ballot. And the first thing that we need to do is elect a temporary chair.
Would elect Ron.
Sorry, what, did you say Joe? I couldn't hear you.
Ron.
Okay, we've got a motion to make Ron the temporary chair. Need a second?
Ron, do you usually count, do you usually tabulate?
Yeah, I can tabulate, but.
So can I nominate,
help
can I
send you if you're
nominate,
doing
okay, otherwise I can nominate Joe, either way.
Okay, so we have a motion to nominate Ron. Was there a second?
Second.
So motion by Cheryl, second by Phil.
Write this down.
Ron is temporary chair. By voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, Ron, you are our temporary chair.
All right, so typically the process we have used is that we will do a nomination for the officer positions. Once we have the nominations, we then accept a close on those, and then once we enact the close, and we actually do the votes on them. In the past, we've always voted via paper vote, and Joe and Cindy would tabulate those, so I guess I'm open to discussion if we're looking to do that in the same manner that we have in the past.
It's fine with me.
Okay. And do you have a cheat sheet for me, Cindy, that I'm supposed to be having in my possession?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm accountant, Joe, I count things.
I know.
A lot of
Time
pressure.
to shine, Ron.
A lot of pressure.
Time to shine, buddy.
Now, and
I'll see if I
John's
can
gonna
count to 9 with Cindy over there.
If you end up with 10. All right. So we'll go to the election of the board officers. I will take a nomination at this point in time for board president.
I'll nominate Rich Depre for president.
We have a nomination of Rich. Is there a second?
Second it.
Second by Nikki. Any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a nomination to close?
So moved.
Second.
Teresa, second by Nikki. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And so then Joe will distribute your vote tabulations. I guess we have in the past also done unanimous.
By unanimous consent.
We can cast an
But
unanimous
we'll
vote.
cast it.
We want Joe to practice counting.
I mean, this will
Teresa,
give you
read,
good practice. That's good.
Right.
Right.
Rich, if you don't carry this, then you're in trouble.
You want to pick them up or pass them down?
You're done?
No.
I'll take them.
Writing my notes, my minutes.
Thank you. Whoops.
Was I supposed to write his
Thank
name or
you.
write yes or no?
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't name.
Yeah, my name, yeah.
There
He's gonna get 6 yeses and, or 7, 8 yeses and 1 Rich.
Oh, I wrote Rich.
Okay,
Am I
good.
supposed to put yes or
I
Rich?
didn't know, I didn't
Oh,
know.
shoot.
I think the name.
Oh, what are you
Oh,
supposed to
phew.
I didn't know if we were supposed to say yes or no, if we were supposed to say
Yes,
yes.
man.
Okay,
Put a yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, mercy.
School board member phone knows yes.
Yes.
9-0 vote, Rich. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Rich, welcome back.
My legal counsel over here did inform me that we don't have to second the nominations. You can nominate yourself, so.
Okay.
Keep this guy on my side.
Right?
We'll open up nominations for vice president.
I nominate Teresa.
Second.
Actually, have a nomination second. Are there other nominations? We don't have to have seconds, I was told, but. So we have a nomination for Teresa. Any other nominations? If not, I'll take a motion to close nominations, and for that, we will need a second.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Nikki. All in favor of closing nominations, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then I will say, if you want to do the ballots this way, we can, or I was advised that we can do a voice vote if we only have one candidate.
Oh. Fine with a voice vote.
All right, so we have one nomination for Teresa for vice president. All in favor of Teresa's vice president, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Nothing to count that time.
Move on to treasurer. Nominations for treasurer.
I'll nominate Nikki. I mean, I know. Yes.
I nominate Tim. Is Tim not on it?
Yeah, we have a nomination for
Tim,
Nikki
I'll
and a
second.
nomination
No,
for
I'm
Tim.
gonna, I meant Tim. I was at the wrong position. I
Tim
meant
Tim is the current treasurer.
Tim Treasurer,
So, all
sorry.
right, so you and Tim.
Sorry, I was not trying to take.
So now we're co-nominating Tim.
I'll
It got
second.
really cold
I'll
over on that side of that room, didn't it, Tim?
Now I'm sweating. See what happens when you go away from the ballots? Throws us off.
Any other nominations for treasurer? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
So moved by Nikki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and I would take a motion, since we have a lone candidate of Tim, for treasurer. I'll take a motion, or I should say, I would call a vote for Tim, if everyone's okay with that. All in favor of voting for Tim for treasurer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
It was almost a mess.
It's almost all over there.
T-Money over there has got it.
I'd entertain motions for board clerk.
I would nominate Nikki.
Nomination for Nikki. Any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations?
So move.
I'll
Moved by
second.
Tim, second by Teresa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. With that said, I would ask that we take a vote on the sole clerk nominee of Nikki. All in favor of Nikki as the school board clerk, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nikki carries.
That's Nikki.
You me, Cindy.
And then we will move on to deputy clerk.
I'll nominate Terry.
We have a nomination for Terry. I heard a second by Phil, if we don't have to have a second. Any other nominations for deputy clerk? Hearing none, is there a motion to close?
So moved.
Motion by Teresa, second by Tim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I almost feel like I should make Joe count again.
Don't be bitter just
got off
because
really
my
easy.
job ended up being easy.
And we'll take the vote on Terry as the sole nomination for deputy clerk. All in favor of Terry having that position, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And then I believe, I don't get to like roll ourselves out of it, right? I just,
Gavel
think
or
that's-
something around, but.
just I adjourn the meeting back to you, Rich, to take control.
Yep, all right. Well, with that, we'll have the first roll call of the 22-23 Board of Education. Nikki, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Nikki Grafton, present. Rich Depre.
Present.
Eric Ekdahl. Here. Terry Ellison. Present. Teresa Keen.
Present.
Cheryl McGuire. Dylan McGuire.
Here.
Phil Vosberg. Tim Wolf.
All right. Perfect. We have a quorum. Consent agenda items. Does any board member wish to remove an individual item for consideration from the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll read them into the record. We're approving minutes for the Board of Education, April 11, 2022, special Board of Education meeting on April 2022. Approval of receipts and expenditures from March of 2022. Approval of support staff resignation, Zachary Zimmerman, middle school custodian. Approval of professional staff resignation, Christine Hicks, middle school 8th grade math. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Nikki, second by Terry. By voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. We're on to public comment. Nobody signed up for public comment this evening. The old business, we're on to new business. The first item is, as the board's reformed, we need to reappoint our Excellence in Education Liaison. I think last year it was Teresa.
No, Terry.
Was it Terry?
Yep.
Okay. So anything to mention about that role, Cindy?
Terry did an excellent job. We meet
Do you want to do it again?
maybe 6 times a year. And Terry acts as the liaison between the board and Excellence in Education. That way she can inform the board of what's happening in Excellence in Education. The big thing that we will have coming up is our awards, which Terry took part in. And I think she found it very interesting.
It was.
So
Okay. All right. Interest in continuing to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. You've got it. And there's no voting on that. It's by appointment, so it's all you. Next item is appointment of CISA 2 representative, and I think, Nikki, you've been our CISA 2 representative.
Yep.
Any interest in continuing that role, or anybody
fine.
else interested in
Unless somebody
being our
else wants
CISA
it.
2 representative? Okay, it's yours if you want it.
Right.
Nikki is our CISA 2 representative. All right, so now we're on to item C, approval of the Lauterbach and Amann discussion about being the district's audit firm. I'll hand it over to Ron for that.
Yeah, we had 4 firms submit proposals. We discussed them at last finance meeting, not tonight, but the previous finance meeting 2 weeks ago. Lauterbach and Amann had some great pricing, very aggressive proposal to us. They are a firm well-known in the Chicagoland area, and they actually do a number of governmental audits across the state of Illinois. They do a lot of actuarial work with some Wisconsin governmental entities. They recently, last year, moved into the state with their first school district in Wisconsin, and we would be their second school district in Wisconsin working with them. I've had a 1-hour Zoom conference with 3 other people who would be conducting the audit and was very satisfied with the answers they gave. So the recommendation coming forward from finance would be that we approve them as the new audit firm for the district. They have a 5-year proposal with two extensions, so we actually could lock in pricing for 7 years if we accept the extensions when the time comes. So.
Any additional questions for Ron on this one? Okay, looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second?
A motion by Terry and a second by Cheryl to approve Lauterbach and Amann as the district's new audit firm at a cost of $14,500 for the first year as recommended by the Finance Committee. This one will be a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item is approval of preliminary notice of non-renewal. This is a statutory requirement that the board has to go through. Joe, do you have anything additional to mention on this one?
No, the information is in the write-up. We don't disclose the employee name at this point in the process. This is, as you said, a statutory requirement. We'd ask that you approve this preliminary notice of non-renewal so we can move forward, communicate that with the employee that's listed.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Cheryl with the motion. Need a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Eric. Nikki, would you call the roll, please?
Yep. Nikki, yes. Rich?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Dylan?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is approval of the 22 through 23 professional staff contracts. Joe?
So these are basically the contracts, that we bring forward every year. So we have you have what the last year's staff was, and then you have the new staff with the openings on there. And so I'm just trying to get to my bottom of my New Year's staff tab. Oops, why is it doing that to me? Just let me see it without trying to. Computer's being difficult. I mean,
Need a spreadsheet run.
it's trying to download Excel for me. So,
Ones.
I got it, finally popped up here, thank you. So at the bottom of the positions, you can see that we have some of the vacant positions. Some of these, we've actually identified the people who will be in those roles. So we have, like Sarah Ackerman, we list that position as vacant, even though we know what teacher is actually going to be moving into those roles. So we have a number of openings down there. We are bringing back the school psychologist position at Abe Lincoln. We are hoping that we will be able to fill the middle school Spanish position that is open because we have a one-year leave of absence there. And we have the middle school reading interventionist position being refilled this year. And so that's why you see the increase in count from teacher contracts from last year to this year.
And an item to clarify, any, this list will reflect all teacher contracts regardless of non-renewal status, because
Correct.
that has not occurred yet. So if there's some confusion about what's listed on there.
Yeah, that was just a
why.
preliminary notice, and then if the actual non-renewal goes through at a subsequent meeting,
Then it
the
changes.
deadline for that is May 15th, then that obviously trumps this action tonight.
Any additional conversation or questions for Ron on this one? Then I'd be looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Nikki, second by Eric. This one's by voice vote, and this is to approve the 2022 through 2023 professional staff contracts as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item we have is approval of the middle school ELL position.
Yeah, so you guys are aware, this year we've had a significant increase in our ELL numbers across the district, and most significantly at our high school, with a high number of newcomers that have moved in. This school year, we made some changes back in November to adjust our programming and resources to accommodate those increases. That included moving Sarah Stone's position full-time to the high school, and she had been split between middle school and high school in the past. That also included us moving one of our ELL aides that was split between special ed and ELL to full-time ELL. And then what we did with the middle school was added Joanne Lancaster, who is a certified teacher, into the teacher role, and then we hired an aide. And moving forward into next year, we don't see our ELL numbers dropping. If any, they'll probably be increasing. And we feel like in order to provide equal programming to what we're doing this year, we need to continue having that teacher role at the middle school. So the recommendation is to add that position into the mix permanently for 22-23. So that's the first part. And then the second part is Joanne, who served in that role this year, has done a great job. She's a certified teacher, and she's currently in school right now to be a licensed, or to get her ESL license, which she'll complete by the end of next school year. So we'd like to just move her into that role, considering the lack of candidates we had for Sarah Stone's position, which Hannah Ormson moved into. We'd like to just move Joanne over and continue to work with her to get her license and allow her to be in that position. She's done a great job.
Looks like the position is covered by ESSER funds.
For the coming year, we will, yeah, or for year one.
So this year, you guys will remember, Sarah Stone's position went unfilled. And we just basically pieced it together with some support from the high school. And then Ms. Ormson, with the time that she had available when she wasn't teaching Spanish, actually went to the high school and provided services. And then we used student TAs as well to be able to provide in-classroom support for translation. So this year, we did our best to make it work because we didn't have anybody in that position.
And we brought Miguel on to fill Joanne's position, and he's been a great addition to the middle school team
Great,
as well.
Will we continue to use the TAs too?
It's been a great experience. We're gonna try to get those students a certification in translation. So yes, I think the intent is that we will continue to use those students in that role.
I think this is clearly needed. Ron, do you see it being an issue moving forward after the year?
What happens
one?
after that?
No, I think that we're gonna, you can see our counts go
Yeah, oh,
from 70 to
100%.
140, so we've kind of doubled our students and we've had to double our staff, and I think that's just the reality of our situation now. if we find that our students move away and or that our needs suddenly lessen, that could change, what this looks like in the future. But I think right now, I mean, it's Todd runs the program, but our student count is up so much and the number of non-English speakers we have at the middle and high school would say that we have to have the support of a teacher at both buildings.
And I'll add that we're in contract with CISA 2, starting to work with them this spring, next month with an evaluation of our ELL program because our numbers have grown so much of how do we use our resources, what type of model as a program should we be implementing with that size of numbers at the elementary and at the high school level specifically. So they'll be helping us do a self-audit of our programming to be able to set some goals and next steps moving forward, and that will start next year.
Any additional questions or discussion? If not, I would be looking for somebody to make a motion.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Teresa and a second by Tim to approve the middle school ELL position as recommended by Todd Parity, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Since by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. On to item G. This is brought forward from Finance tonight. It's approval to purchase cubbies for the North Side Elementary.
So these would be coming out of a long-term maintenance budget, would be completed prior to June 30, so it would fall within this year's budget. We had actually discussed this last year when the Northside project was starting, and we knew we were getting the ones installed last year for the 4th, 5th grade wing and for the K1 wing, and so that left 2, 3 as being the only classes that didn't have cubbies. We didn't know that we were going to be able to get them in time and to get some of we couldn't do them last year because we had to wait to get some of the HVAC stuff out of the way. We didn't think we could get them in time with the order for this year to fit in this budget. But they've had a cancellation and we can get in to their production schedule. And so they will have them made and the HVAC will be out of the way and CG Schmidt will be able to have them installed prior to 6:30. So the cost included there is all inclusive of not only the purchase of the cubbies, but also the installation of the cubbies as well. And so the cubbies will come from Hillcraft again, which is the same company that we got them from last year for the other ones. CG Schmidt installing again.
I would make a motion to approve purchase and install cubbies for Northside in the amount of $44,588 by CG Schmidt.
Second. Motion by Nikki, second by Tim. This is a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries. On to informational items, boardsmanship. Just checking. So boardsmanship, the only item I have is just a reminder that the Fine Arts Festival is taking place at the high school Thursday, Friday this week. So if any board members are available, they're still looking for a couple volunteers to help out. So you can reach out to Susan or Jan, Susan Anderson or Jan Douglas. Thursday and Friday during the day, if you're available. Anything from administration? We have day of service coming up soon too, right?
Yep.
Is that before the next board meeting?
It's really
May 6th,
Is that what it is?
Friday, May 6th is day of service.
So that'll be exciting to have our kids out in the community doing some good things, so. Board of Education correspondence, I only have one piece of correspondence that I forwarded to all the board members. Committee reports, go down the line. Dylan, anything from you? No. Eric? No. Terry?
Excellence in Education met last week with their teachers and
issued 9 grants out to the teaching staff and about, I think 47,000 we will be giving back to
Wow.
the teachers in schools.
That's
So
awesome.
some of the projects were super neat to hear about, so it was fun to sit in on them.
Nikki?
Nothing for me.
Teresa?
Curriculum met tonight, and the elementary ELA committee will have a recommendation that will come to the full board for purchasing materials.
Finance met this evening as well, and obviously brought forward the cubbies for Northside.
Cheryl? All right. We don't have anything from the liaison for questions. Nobody
Will
here
you
from the
be
press.
reassigning committees?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll be assigning committee roles, and I'll get an email out to all board members inquiring for requests if you have a specific committee you'd like to participate on. So watch for that email and let me know. We'll go into closed session next. This one will be, and we'll come back for business after closed, but this one will be adjourning into closed session per Wisconsin statute 19.85 paren 1, paren C, and paren E for the purpose of discussing exempt and administrative staff compensation and superintendent search candidates. If somebody would like to make the motion at 7:31.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Teresa and a second by Nikki. This is a roll call vote. Nikki, would you call the roll, please?
Yep. Nikki, yes. Rich?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Cheryl? Dylan?
Yes.
Phil? Tim?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go into closed.